I'm trading one ticker, one system, S&P 500 futures every single day for a full year. We're using the VX algo to do it. So today is day 71. Made a little bit decent amount of money today. Market was a little bit up and down. Pretty bad actually, and I'll tell you why as well. And the goal of doing these journals is just improve our execution and make more money, essentially. And hope you guys make money as well with me in the process. So I made about $240 on one of the accounts today. There was a lot of up and down moves. I was up about 311 at one point, gave up some money, and then had to make it all the way back. It was a struggle, a little bit silly, but that's how the market is at times. You either make money or you lose money, and sometimes you lose money while making money, and sometimes you make money and you got to lose some money to make more money. Um, so I'll tell you why I think today is pretty interesting and could mark a significant change in terms of trend as well. We have this 2 hour MOB that I've been watching. MOB is our big yellow line here, make or break line. That's why we call it MOB. So that line over here is a line that we've been watching for quite a while, and this is the fifth time we're testing it today, right? So the fifth time that we're testing it does not mean that it's most likely to bounce. Usually, in these situations in the market, it's a little bit different than human recognition patterns, where human recognition patterns will tell us that it should bounce. Where in the market, support and resistance, theory wise, the more times it hits support and resistance, the more likely it is to break. So that means more likely for it to do this instead of bounce, right? But we're holding so far. We're doing a pretty good job here. But I think the more time we test it, the more likely we can crash through. And some of the other indication that I don't like about the market is that Bitcoin has already made lower lows and have crashed through it already. And I think there could be more bad news to come. Everything's riding on the Nvidia ER this week, because some people have already sold, like Peter Thiel from Palantir has already sold off on Nvidia. There's a lot of speculation and fear about data center bubble, AI bubble, and all that stuff. And if Nvidia doesn't pull through with the best earnings ever and telling everybody that they have so much GPUs for like that they're actually backlog into sales for the next 5 years, we're going down. It's gonna be going into a bear market where we're gonna make lower highs, lower lows, and more lower highs and more lower lows. And essentially, instead of the market going up like this, we'll just be making more do, kind of like 2022. Uh, where's that? When they were hiking rates. I think we can essentially transition to this type of market here. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Let's go over the levels that we're looking at for today. So for today, we changed the levels a little bit. The bearish level has moved down now to 67.82. Uh, it's really hard to get it to 82, man. Jeez. Anyways, close enough. And then this upper level is 68.20. So what this means is I think there's always a possibility for us to test it overnight. If we test it, great. Unless we break over this level, it's still pretty bearish. And then if we could break over both level, we're pretty bullish and looking for a bounce like this to play up higher. But we'll see if that happens. I think this is a low probability, but if it does happen, then great, you know. Then as far as signals today, we had a bunch of signals. We'll go over them real quick, see how they worked out. So 9:37, we had our X3 buy signal. That worked out pretty good. There's this one over here. We had a huge push up this morning. And then 9:45, we had market structure flip bullish, which pushed us up a little bit higher. And then by 11, market structure had flipped bearish, and then we went down a lot from there. And then by 11:30, we had a sell signal, which was over here. So we ended up shorting this area. It pushed up a little bit more, squeezing our shorts. But then eventually it did go down. 12 o'clock, market structure had flipped bullish, which was somewhat holding the support line, but it didn't hold for long and ended up losing all. So that signal kind of did not work out that good. So that's why there's a no there. And then 12:20, we had a sell signal. Had a DP sell signal, and that essentially told us the market makers were selling, and that essentially pushed us down further. 1 p.m. had multiple sell signals that pushed us down, and then 130, we had our buy signal over here that ended up pushing up a little bit with that oversold signal as well. And then we got a mini push up and then eventually push up down further until we hit the bottom of the day where we had dropped so much that from there we can only recover. So we recover a little bit from there. So that's kind of what happened based on signal, and that's kind of how it helped me make a lot of money. And the part where I did lose some money was because I bought at where I thought was support, and the support blew through it, which was over here, like 66.87 ish. I thought that was going to be support there, but obviously it blew through a lot, and some of my position got stopped out for a loss, while some were holding on, and I was able to sell at a higher price for profit. Now let's take a look at the 10-minute and 30-minute. Let me clean out. Let me take a look at a different chart so it's a little bit cleaner, so you can see how things look like. I think a 10-minute, we're seeing a little bit mixed here. A lot of moving averages, conversion, diversion everywhere. But I think on the longer time frame, we are seeing these moving averages going to the downside. So as you can see, like that red moving average is going downwards, that blue moving average is going downward. All these other moving averages here are going downwards. And even this yellow, our MOB moving average is starting to curve to that downside, which means we're signaling a bearish trend, and naturally that's going to happen because all the candles are under it. But as this continues, this directional move continues, we're going to eventually go in that direction. So like this, that's what happens when we get lower highs and lower lows. So that's what I think could potentially happen for the next few days. I'm no longer leaning extremely bearish as I was, thinking the market was going to eventually bounce, but that will invalidate if we can come over this area. If we can break over this area, everything will be invalidated. Or if we can break over this area. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting us. And please give us a thumbs up and follow if you'd like to see more of it. Thank you and have a great night.